we win.
43 days to a long-awaited presidential election 2024. Now we are just counting days on days on days. Welcome to MRI TV, wherever you are watching us from. We do really appreciate. Now, as we promised earlier, that every week we are going to make sure that we give you what's happening in the US. We apologize for taking a very simple short commercial break, but we're investigating on something so that we can give you the factual information you have to get, especially in the presidential election of the United States of America, which is going to happen on 5th of November 2024. That means we're only remaining with only 43 days. That's a month and some few days. But we do really appreciate wherever you are watching us from, in Uganda, in Canada, Middle East, wherever you are watching us from. We see the comments and we do really appreciate. But before going any further, this week in America, it's a week of campaign. And I want to tell you, tomorrow, Wednesday, there is what we call swing states. So when we come back with my expert, we are going to talk much more about the swing states. What does it mean? When did it start? And why some states in America are called swing states and others not? So tomorrow, Wednesday, Kamala Harris will be moving in Pennsylvania, where the debate was. So this Pennsylvania is also a swing state. And also on Wednesday, on Friday, Arizona. Then on Sunday, she's going to be in Nevada. So these three states are also swing states. So when I say swing states, that means those are some states where there is a lot of competition. Because when you see here in North Carolina, Donald Trump was having 47.4 and Kamala Harris 47.5. So that means there is a very, very tight competition when you see those swing states. In 2016, there were 13. Now there's 7. Why? That's what we're going to be talking about when we come back in our second edition. But we do really appreciate your generosity of watching MRI TV and following us on our social media platforms, Facebook, YouTube, X, and also not forgetting our sponsor, UMCAT School of Journalism and Mass Communication. On this Friday, they're celebrating 28 years in media. It's really amazing, but we do also thank them for supporting us since the first day up to now, and they're still supporting us, and we do really thank. My name is Mbaziira Friday. Now we are going to take a very short commercial break. When we return, we are coming back with an expert who is following this America from day one up to now. So stay tuned, don't change your station.
Tugenda kutunuulira essomero lya UMCAT School of Journalism and Mass Communication. Erimu ku ssomero erifuuse ensonga, erimu ku ssomero erifuuse ery'amaanyi mwaka ag'amawulire, nga kizibu okwogera institutions mu Uganda n'otayogera essomero erya UMCAT School of Journalism and Mass Communication. Ki ekirifuula ery'enkizo mu g'enkizo? Ki ekirifudde okubeera nga gegamu ku masomero agakyasinga ku training abaana mu by'amawulire? UMCAT yatandikibwawo myaka 28 egyakakuba emabega. Yatandikawo mwaka ogwa 1996 n'omusajja Dr. Charles Ogwell ne mukyala we Susan Ogwell. Gegamu kwago amasomero agaluddewo mu by'amawulire. Tugenze tutuuka olunaku olwaleero mwaka ogwa 2024 nga lirimu ku ssomero erikyasinze okutraininga bannamawulire ab'amaanyi. Era buli munnamawulire yenna gw'olaba ku TV, ku radio, alina eddoboozi eriwooma ku muzindaalo, abayimbi, bakomedian, bonna bayitidde ku ssomero lino eno. Era essomero lino ojja kulyogerako ng'agamu ku masomero agakyasinze okubeera n'ebyuma eby'omulembe. Lyerimu ku ssomero lyosobola okwogerako ng'essomero erikyasinze okubeera n'ettutumu n'okusomesa bannamawulire abafuuse ensonga. Ojja kwogera ku comedian Alex Mohanji, omu ku abo abasudde ebitone by'abacomedians mu Uganda. Ono n'akulira comedy store ono mu Uganda. Ojja kwogera ku musajja Toby Innocent Kafeero, yomanyiga Dr. T. Amale, Ibrahim Mukasa, awo ojja kwogera ku Anteira yasomera awo, ono akola ku Sanyuka TV ku Next Media kampani eyo gy'akolera. Essomero lino ebbanga lye limaze ery'emyaka 28 lifulumizza abayizi abali ku mutendera ogw'ensi yonna nga mulimu n'abo bannamawulire abakolera ebweru wa Uganda. Umukati emyaka 28 gyemazeewo mu nsiike z'ebyamawulire, baaluminayi bangi bosobola okwogerako Basanyu Robin Mweruka n'ono mbaka Parliament owa Mityana Joyce Baagala Ntwatwa gye yasomera. Essomero eryo ndowooza oliraba bonna bonna abalisomeddeko n'okutuuka olunaku olwaleero buli mwana yenna atuula wansi ayagala somera ku Umukati, olw'okuba nti buli munnamawulire yenna gwe yeegomba bw'atunuulirako bw'ati n'alaba nti Joyce Baagala Ntwatwa gye yasomera n'ajja kujja asomereyo, Baagala PCDN gye yasomera n'ajja kujja asomereyo. Era tugenze okutuuka olunaku olwaleero mu bbanga lya myaka 28 bukyanga Umukati eyo etandikibwawo nga ge gamu ku ago amasomero agatwalibwa nga gakyasinze mu ggwanga erya Uganda mu kuvumbula ebitone bya bannamawulire, mu kuvumbula ebitone eby'abakomedian, eby'abayimbi bonna. Umukati School of Journalism and Mass Communication bwe ntandika okunnyonnyola Umukati tuyinza okusulawo n'abo ba alumni abagisomeddeko abafuuse ensonga mu ggwanga nga n'abamu bayingidde ebyobufuzi nga ba Joyce Baagala Ntwatwa basomeddeawo ku Umukati abafuuse kati ab'amaanyi mu kisaawe eky'ebyobufuzi. Umukati esangibwa Bukesa Sir Apollo Kaggwa Road Kyaddondo. Abeetaaze osobola bafunako n'aba y'essimu 0752 43 59 50.
We win.
Thank you so much and welcome from that very short commercial break. You're still live on MRI TV. And I said before, we are broadcasting live from Kampala, Uganda, Bukesa. For those who want to advertise with us, you can bring your business and you're not going to regret. Now, as I said, when I come back, I'm going to come back with an expert who has been following this from day one, from the first president. I normally tell you from the first president up to now. So everything what you're seeing here, you're free to comment, you're free to subscribe, also to put a notification wherever we post a video, so that you can see what is trending on our platform. Thank you so much. Before going any further, the world is watching you, and you can tell us your name. I know they know your name, but every day we get new subscribers, so they would love to know your name, and we proceed with 30 minutes in America.
Dear viewers, you are welcome. This is MRI TV, and my name is Nkonge Ismail Kagwa. I'm a journalist by profession, and indeed I've been in the media for quite some time, and I've been reporting on electoral process for many countries, including Uganda and the United States of America. I followed a lot in what was happening in the United Kingdom. So it doesn't make me to be an expert, but someone who is so curious on what is happening across the world when it comes to democracy.
Yes, but before going on our show, 30 Minutes in America, we also have to talk about our sponsors, because they are doing a very amazing job. They are celebrating 28 years in media training. What do you say about that? Have they achieved something in this 28?
Definitely, as the four presidents of the United States of America, and what is within the human rights conventions, when they say the right to speak and journalism, when you celebrate 28 years, it doesn't mean small journey. That's a lot of journey. It's a long journey. We have moved on, and among other products which Umukati School of Journalism is having, not only the human resource management, which is contributing healthily to the world, but also to the young generation.
Like we.
Not only you, including MRI,
Right.
Media Responsibility and Accountability Initiative. That initiative that has been there in the director's head or brains for a long time, ensuring that they don't only train practitioners, they also need to follow on their products. Are you responsible? Can you initiate in terms of credibility? Are you looking at, can you appreciate the media where you are working from, which is making you have a meal? When you talk at media responsibility and accountability, that means a lot to the media, because it all involves research, it all involves, if say, or like what they had initially, or some of their projects, like I happen to work with them, Media Responsibility and Accountability Initiative. Our first areas which we looked at, internship and apprenticeship, whereby they trained journalists, young upcoming journalists, on terms of internship, whereby we had to look at a number of universities and tertiary institutions to see, do the media institutions or universities match with the productivity what the employers want? If they do match with what the employers want, what do the source want? What do the media? Because the media, the core principles of media is to serve the oppressed people. That is what the media is all about. To fight for the fightless. For that one, in fact, since they launched it, I think they have moved some miles. They had YMEP 1, YMEP 2, YMEP 3. Now we are undertaking Mamwich, more and more women in the media. So when we have more media practitioners in the world, I think liberation in terms of free speech is going to be achieved, because they have the women, or when we look at gender parity, the women have not been moving on as expected globally and locally. You see more women joining the media, but practicing for 5 years, you find the number is reducing steadily. So the purpose of Mamwich, more and more women in journalism, was to see that what are the challenges the women are finding, what challenges are they finding in terms of their work when they are working. So that is an excellent move in terms of Mamwich, and more projects and more programs are coming on.
Well, thank you so much. The journey for UMCAT School of Journalism is long, but the reason as why we have talked about it, they're celebrating 28 and they're our sponsors. But 30 minutes in America, we talk about Americans. We talk about what's happening in America, democracy and the election, which is remaining with only 43 days to 5th of November 2024. Now, somebody would love to know why these assassination are continuing to Donald Trump only. Someone may say, is Kamala Harris or Democratic Party behind these assassinations? What do you say about that?
Only as I informed you, assassination goes with trying to do away with celebrities or leaders. When it comes to elections, especially during this time of controversy, because they are head on. At times you can come out with a stand, but at times it couldn't be a stand. It could be some extremist who would wish to do away with someone who's having an opposite way of thinking. So like in the United States of America today, we have the Democrats. You can find that out that a certain group of people are extremists in terms when it comes to democracy. Whereas others would say, no, we need to be liberal. Let Donald Trump exercise his rights as a contender. And so once extremism comes within a profession or within a certain revolution. It leads to different directions.
So let's talk about the last assassination attempt of this 58 man was found in Florida. What is about that? What was his intention? Was his intention to kill Donald Trump, or to what do you also say about that? Because the first one died, the young guy Matthew Crooks also died, and this one is also jailed in Florida. What do you say about also that I was also still on the assassination attempts of Donald Trump?
Initially, as I told you, the United States of America is having the most credible investigative departments. They have all the capacities. Because when it comes to investment, the United States of America is one of the leading countries across the world which has invested in security. So they have a number of departments which are involved in investigating. The FBI, the State Research, the CIA, to mention about a few. But when it comes to the last attempted assassination, they are investigating deeply into it, more especially when it comes to say where he was going to be assassinated. You have to get to know that this is one of the residences of Donald Trump, that is Florida. That is one of his empires. Therefore, investigating such a scenario is not going to take a simple time, because now, how did he come with the gun? How did he put it there? But the good thing is, when they investigated, he's having an history of criminality, an history of wanting to join the army or shooting. Because once he wanted to join Americans in Ukraine and he wanted to mobilize, though he was moved out because he was a little bit old.
Well, now opinion polls, they're changing every time basing on the states, the 50 states making United States of America. Now we see sometimes Kamala Harris, do we say to that person who's not following these things of United States of America, is Kamala Harris still high to Donald Trump? And why is she still high when it comes to these opinion polls? Is there still a big difference in these opinion polls?
In fact, as initially I told my viewers, I told my viewers that elections today are too competitive. Since Kamala Harris joined the competition, has changed the way people are watching, the way people are thinking. The people's opinions have changed drastically, because before she came into the equation, Joe Biden was too low, because Donald Trump was 5% margin up than Joe Biden. Therefore, you cannot just say that the competition today, it is just wholesomely that this one is leading or the other one. What you have to get to know that the competition is high, because the margin of error, which is 1 or 2, that is where they are dancing from. No one is leading by 5 margin or 5 points. It is just 2 or 3. So when you go to the researchers' opinions of margin of error, which is 1 plus or 1 minus, so it means that election is still tight.
In 2016, the research is showing us the swing states were 13, very competitive. Now the 7, do you say some are eliminated? And why? Because tomorrow Kamala Harris is continuing with the campaign in Pennsylvania, where we see there is a lot of competition. What do you say also about the swing states in the United States of America, and what does it mean?
The swing states have not changed as much as one would think too, but because they are being shared. When it was in 2016. The controversial states were Arizona, Georgia, and Michigan, North Carolina, and Florida. When it comes today in today's elections, they are sharing. Like when you come to Arizona, more especially in Sunbelt, when you go to Donald Trump, is leading. They have 45% and 45%, whereas Donald Trump is having 49%. That margin is 4%. It's in terms of elections, it's a big margin. But when you go to other states, Kamala Harris is picking up, like North Carolina and other parts. They are playing the game as it's supposed to be. Though when it comes to the choice of people, in terms of opinion, when you go to these swing states, they are sharing the opinions, because when you come to the young women and the more educated people, they happen to be supporting Kamala Harris. When it comes to men and the old people, they happen to support Trump, just because Trump is showing the ability to maintain the United States people in terms of economy, and the continuity of America in terms of economy and business is very, very important. It's core. When it comes to Kamala Harris, they are looking at democracy. And some people are saying, are we going to be eating democracy? Others are saying that economy is core. Therefore, according to people's opinions, where they choose and decide, it's still there. Though we still have a big number of voters which are not showing interest into the elections. However, the number, even Trump is having the young generations. When it comes to when you come to like Virginia, Florida, and New York, there are some young generation who are saying that we are going to die with Trump. That Kamala Harris undermined them, that when she said this young generation, more especially the Gen Zs, they don't have future, they are just stupid. Whereby some of the youth had to go on her side. But now she's coming and saying that the youth have the future and they have time to show that they are respected in terms of education. Because when it comes to the future of any country, it depends on the young generation and the educated people who are poor. So when it comes to Kamala Harris, they are supporting him because of that.
Now my producer is saying time is moving, but in 1 minute, if Trump fails to win again, should we expect him in 2028? Because years are moving and is older than Kamala Harris. If he fails to win this 2024 presidential election, should we expect him to come back in 2028?
He was extremely open in Georgia. He said that even if he wins or not, and the next general election is not coming back, because at least has sacrificed himself thrice, in 2016, in 2020, and now he's coming back. Those 3 times are just enough for a presidential contender in the United States to come into the equation of being a leader. However, it doesn't mean he's going to be dropping out of politics, because of course very many people in the United States of America are showing that he's having value. Though those ones who are Democrats, they are saying no, he's too poisonous. He doesn't hold the future of the people of the United States of America. Therefore, it is him and the people of the United States of America to choose which kind of people they happen to love.
All right, thank you so much for that information from US. You know, when you continue conversing, you can end up using 2 hours, but we have also to stick on what we said, 30 minutes. Let it be 30 minutes. Your last remarks. We shall continue with other questions when we return, but we would love to give us your last remarks to someone who's watching us everywhere, because I cannot say in Uganda only, because the entire world is watching us now. Your last remarks.
No, as you had earlier said that we are focusing on the 7 states. Let us look at more states in the United States of America that are still standing. We have Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, which was too controversial, where Donald Trump was going to be assassinated. We have New Hampshire, we have Minnesota, we have Arizona, we have Georgia, Virginia, Florida, we have Michigan, Nevada, Colorado, North Carolina, and Maine. When it comes to the people to choose in the United States of America, they normally focus on a state and who matters when it comes to declaration of votes in the United States of America. We have the governor, we have the attorney general, and the secretary for state. Those people are core in determining who is going to be the next president. Therefore, when you come to electoral colleges, also we need to explain more about that. What is electoral college and what does it mean? The other time we had talked about the Project 2025. What does it mean to the United people, a person who is supposed to choose a certain president? And what are the factors that is leading to one president to be surpassing another? Because when Ronald Kennedy moved out, people thought that Kennedy's seconding of Donald Trump was going to change the equation. What is making that? So we wouldn't say that who is leading or who is going to take it, but the people of the United States of America have the right to choose their next president. More especially Donald Trump, who has been there for two times and is coming back for the third time. He passed one and now is coming back again for the third time. And Kamala Harris, who has been the vice president of the United States of America. And what does she have to offer to the people of the United States of America? What does she have to offer to the people of the world? What does she need to offer to the Democratic Party people in the United States of America? Does she have the vision to reshape the trend of elections in the world? Does she have the capacity to reduce the tension which is moving on across the world? Who is having the ability to reduce on the tension of the tension pattern of the world today? Because American, when they choose a president, happens to be a president who is going to reflect the pattern of the world democracy. Not only democracy, but also the world trade allies. We have had a lot of controversy between China and the United States of America in terms of trade, in terms of peace, Russia and America and Israel. What is the next president going to offer? It is very important.
Every time I feel like I want to ask you a question, but the more I ask you a question, the more we continue the conversation. But this is 30 minutes in America. We promise that we'll have to leave you with that shock. Is it a shock or like a hook?
It could be a hook or a nice shot in the head. But it is, of course, it is them to decide where we left.
Okay, so thank you so much for watching 30 Minutes in America. It's many things happening in the United States of America. So when I continue asking, can reach into hours when you are enjoying the show. But thank you so much for following us, subscribing, commenting. We do really appreciate. My name is Friday. Let me come back and I want this 30 Minutes in America. Thank you so much.
We win.
Welcome back from that very short commercial break, and that break marks to the end of our 30 minutes in America, and we're going to come back after seeing what is going to happen in these campaigns tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, and other days, and also what's trending in the presidential election 2024. But also we thank the UMCAT School of Journalism and Mass Communication for sponsoring our show and giving us various facilities. We do really appreciate for that. Thank you so much, UMCAT. The number of UMCAT, they're moving on the screen. You can see, you can follow them on their social media platforms, Facebook, YouTube, X, everywhere for more detailed information. And they're also celebrating 28 years in the media. See you next time. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thanks so much for following us. Thanks so much for commenting anything you can say. Maybe change on these, or you're good on this. Every comment, we love it. Bye bye, see you next time.